So what is useMemo? So useMemo again. So this is we are using for optimizing the performance by memoizing the results of a calculation. Okay, calculation or computation. So what is this called memoizing? First we'll see. So memoizing is our one of the technique. Okay, it is used to speed up the computer program and for storing the result. For everything, we can speed up our program. So that's why that is the main reason we are going for this use memo concept, use memo hooks concepts. Okay. So in which situation we can use in generally? So when you talk about the calculation or a computation example, we can use this in some calculator for say the expensive calculator, or we can go with some any kind of calculation. We can use this use memo hooks concept. Clear? So for this one, uh, it is again we will be using it as a function. Okay. What you can do is try to create expensive calculator. Okay, try to create an expense calculator. So that should utilize this use memo and check whether the speed of the program is, it is the performance is good or not. Okay. So this is the second one. So I will share the GitHub link. You can just watch. You can go through the code. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. And one more, the last concept is paging concept. So let's see that. And use callback is there. So use callback is nothing but
section A or B? B section.
okay. So next is the use callback. What is this use callback? So use callbacks is also used for the same purpose, but it is not for the, we cannot say directly like for the calculation purpose. This is used for callback functions. Same memoizing concept to speed up the computer program. Okay. And so this is the explanation for this use callback. So now for this one, what activity you can do is you can try with the count values. Okay. So it's going to be the same process. That's why I'm just skipping. So we can move on to the page routing. So can you tell me like what is page routing? So what is page routing? Let me write down the name. What is page routing? Delete this file. What is page routing? Anyone? What is this term page routing? So from the name itself, we can come to know. So we are going to route from one page to the another page. But in a React JS, it's going to be a single page application, right? In a single page application also, we can get the dynamic routing. So that is possible here. Okay. So now we will see how we can create with the page routing. Everyone is in the session only, no? Can I get some thumbs up or say yes or no? Everyone is there, right? So again, I'll repeat. So try to use with this use memo and use callback. And one more concept. Yes, only two concepts everyone. Use reducer hook. So try this at home. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay. All right. I got one thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, page routing. So page routing is a mechanism to navigate between a different pages of views in a web apps. Okay, in a web application. Okay, so when to use this web application? When to use this web application? We can use it for multi-page applications, or we can also use it for single page application. And for the dynamic content, to update the content, we can also use that. For the state management, can use this routing. Okay. So now we will first go with the app.js file, like how we can import this. But before going to that, we need to know what are the different files we have, right? What I can do is I will create the project structure. Okay. The src will create one folder like components. So inside the components, I have a file called home.js. And then have one more products.js. And then I have one more file, navbar.js. And then finally, about.js. Okay, these are the different files which we are having. Let me open the index.html file because I'm going to give some name for my file. Okay, so what I will do is I will write the title name is going to be e-commerce site or e-commerce, or I can give like Flipkart. Okay, so this is my title name. So next I can go with the index.js file. So everything is going to be the same thing, right? Okay. So here I will add one more file. So let me create that file as well. Okay. So style, I'll create this file later. Style.css. Okay. I'll create style.css. As of now, I can, okay, I will import /style.css. So, okay, fine. And then after this, let me create one by one file. First, we will go with the app.js file. Okay. App. So in the app.js file, first let me import the React from React, and then for routing purpose, I need some kind of different packages or packages. Before that, I need to include one packages while I'm working with the routing concept. So that is npm install React router DOM. Sorry, this. Okay, it is installing. So whenever we are doing with this page routing concept, you need to install this one. Okay, so import, and there is something called as a router. So router means I will tell you the different terms which used here in the paging concept. The first one is a router. Okay, so this router will wrap the entire application, and it provides a routing context. Okay, it is definitely necessary, and it enables a routing in the React app. Next is called as a nav bar. So this nav bar, we will include this particular components is going to be placed above the routes. So above the routes, I will include this nav bar, so which I've already created it as a component, right? So that is a nav bar. So, and next to this, a nav bar should come above the router. Okay. And after this router, I have something called as routes. So this is this component, it is going to replace the old switch from the React router. So this switch was in the React router version 5. Okay, but we are going to replace this old switches, and we use this routes. And next is switch. So what is sorry. We will see about the other thing like path. So setting a path. So in this way, we can set a path. So it is going to render the home component. Whatever it's going to be the first component page that will be viewed. Okay. So the path. And next is if you're trying to redirect with any other thing, then like this you can do about, or if you're redirecting to some other components, like what are the other components we have, products, right? So like this you can route it. So these are the important things we need to know. I think it is installed the React form. Okay, so we'll write the code import browser router. So this is, it plays a role as a router, and then routes, and then routes from the React router DOM. So so this I have included this package, right? So it is automatically showing on which package all these things are coming up. Okay. Next, import nav bar from the components slash navbar, and then import home from or slash components slash home, and then import what is the file, products, right? So products from slash components and slash products, and then import the final one is about. So about from a minute. Okay. Components slash about. Okay, these are the different things. So now we can do the routing part. Uh, write the component, functional component. So inside this, I'm going to return some values. Okay. So router, sorry, doing mistake. Return as a function. Okay. So inside this, I will use a router component. Okay. And inside the router component, I'm creating a div container. Okay. Inside the div container, the first component I'm going to include is navbar. And then for routing purpose in the nav bar, I have a different tabs like home and product and about. So if I want to route, then we need to use, there is a necessary to use this route. Okay. The path is going to be, if that is going to be in a that is a component, then we can simply give a slash alone. And then the element is what? Home. Okay. What happened? Did I miss anything? Row path, element, and then this. Okay. I need to close this. This is a self-closing tag. Let me copy this. Here I can change it to products. Here I can change it to about. Same, the component name is products. This is going to be about. That's all. Finally, if we can export this application default app. Clear? Yes. So now we can move on to the next component that is called home.js. So as of now, we done with the routing. So how we are going to route? So that basics syntax we are seeing in the app.js. So now we will move on to the home.js file. Okay, in the home.js file, what is the purpose of creating this? I'm going to navigate to my home page. If I navigate to the home page, what is the information I will be seeing? So function home of and return inside the return, inside the return, I will have a parent element. Inside the parent element, I'll just pass the information like welcome to our Flipkart site. Okay. And then I'm giving some information. Check for your new products. Okay, this is my home page. And next one is I will go to the products.js page. So in the products.js page, it's going to be the simple thing. In the morning session, Rishikesh sir also told you, right? So you can use this RF C, or you're going to use this arrow function. You can use that. As of now, I'm simply using a arrow function. Let me go with, just create line by line. So products of, inside this return statement, I forgot to import the React. Import React from React. Inside this, what we will be doing, we'll be creating some information. So H1, our products. Later, you can also try to import some images and check whether it's working fine. Here you can find a variety products we offer. And what else we have? We have a nav bar. I think about is done. Page, no, not it, right? So we'll go with the about page first. So in about page, same thing, a function. So let me copy the file text, paste it here. Here alone, I make a change of a component to about, and this is going to be about us. And here I will change this to learn more about our company and mission. Yes. Now we can work with the navbar .js. So it should link to the a different component. So how we can link it? So whenever we use the route concept, we need to include this link. So what this link component will do? So instead of an HTML, we will use an anchor tag, right? The same how here we are using a link component to create the navigation between the pages without refreshing the browser. Okay. So let's see how we can do this. And also one more thing, here we will be using, let me tell you what are the things I'll use. I'm going to use a link. So this is same like HTML anchor tag. And the another one we use is to. So to is nothing but to is going to be a prop. It defines the target URL. Okay. Let me import the package first. React from React. And then import link from React router DOM function nav bar written off. So the nav component, inside the nav component, sorry, element, I'm using a unordered list. Inside the unordered list, a list of element. In the list of element, instead of anchor tag, I will use a link. Okay. And there is something called as a to. So this is called as a prop. It defines a target URL. So I'm just giving the target URL is going to be a home. This is the exact the same the first page. So I'm not going to give anything like a home. Okay. And then let me copy the same thing. I will change this to products. And this is going to be about, that's all. So we are done. So now we will execute the code. It's still loading. Imported as a nav bar. Okay, I forgot to export this. So export default app bar. About this also write an export default product, and then export route. Bar products. So export default home. Routers only ever to be used as a children's of routes. I forgot to include one routes here. So let me add that. So this is going to be a child of routes. Okay. So routes. Okay. So what I can do is I will check and I will update you. In the meanwhile, Rishikesh, you can handle the session. Okay. So everything is correct, but I will check what is the error. Okay. And I will share the code. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, just
Rishikesh,
give
are
me
you
one
there?
minute. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Okay, so now up to here we discuss about the front end development. In that we discuss about the programming languages and now discuss about the library that we are going to use the React. So now we are going to learn about the server side scripting. For that, we are going to learn the one technology that's we call the Node.js. Just 1 minute, I'm just sharing my screen. I hope my screen is visible to everyone. Uma, can you give me the confirmation?
Yes, Rishikesh, it's visible.
So now we are going to start our next chapter. That is chapter number 6. Here we are going to learn about the essential of the Node.js. So basically we know key for the development, if you are say if I'm doing the front end development or back end development, for that we are using the JavaScript only. Which language we are going to use? We are going to use the JavaScript programming language. So now we know. So for the browser side, you can say if we execute our code on the browser side, where uh, on that side, what happened? We no need any kind of the runtime environment. So browser will provide itself the runtime environment to the front end, or we can say for the front end JavaScript. But if we take the just if I want to draw the just 1 minute, so we will get a better understanding. Suppose we can say this one is our client side, and then second one, what we have a server side. And we know key if I want to execute the Java program, JavaScript language on the browser side, what happen? Here we use the browser compiler only, or we can say we use the browser only. So for the front end, we have a compiler kind of the things on the browser only. But if I want to execute the JavaScript on the backend, or we can say if I want to execute the JavaScript on the server, then what happen? We need a some runtime environment. We need a runtime environment. So if I want to use that runtime environment, then what happen? We need to use the Node.js. So in this session, we are going to learn about that, how to use the JavaScript for the backend, or we can say JavaScript for the server scripting. So that is the motamoti scenario. So that is the use of the JavaScript. So now Just 1 minute. So today's learning objective. First one, we discuss about the fundamental of the Node.js. Then we discuss about the how to install the Node.js and npm. I think maximum we already installed the Node.js because for the React also we require the Node.js. So I'm considering each and every person they have a Node.js in a system. And then we discuss about the understand the user like the package.json. So this one is the important topic. In the morning session, sir asked me ki what is the use of the different kinds of the files. So now here we are going to understand what is the use of the packet.json file. Okay, and now we will discuss about the how to work with the npm Node Program Manager package management. So this is the npm start by the Node Program Manager. This is the package management kind of the things. So if you want to manage the package that is available on the Node.js, so for that what happened? We have one command that is the npm. We have one command that is the npm. Now and then we will discuss about the effective use of the Node.js modules. So in the Node.js, we have different kinds of the module. We have predefined module, we have a user-defined module, we have a third-party module as well. So we are going to learn about that kind of the module as well. So now, what is the Node.js? As we discuss, we already discussed that key Node.js is the runtime environment that allow you to run the JavaScript outside of the web browser. है ना? So outside of the web browser means where? On the server side. On the server side. Everyone understood? So on the browser, no need any kind of the runtime environment to execute the JavaScript. But on the if you want to execute the code on the browser, then what happen? We need some runtime environment. So that runtime environment will be provided by the Node.js. So now, sometime for the student, they will be get the one question in the mind. Sir, there is any use of the Node.js for the front-end development? So here, no, there is no any use of the Node.js for the front-end development because here in the front-end development, what happened? We execute the all thing on the browser only. But there is one another question. Sir, you are saying ki Node.js, we are not going to use the front-end development, but React, we are using the React. That is also the front-end development. Yes. But here what happened? In the React, we are manipulating the virtual DOM. So if you want to manipulate the virtual DOM, so virtual DOM is nothing but that is available. Virtual DOM is available on the server side, and virtual DOM is available for not a client. Just here you need to understand the one thing. So now see, again, we will take the client side and we will take the server side. Now what I'm saying, virtual DOM is available on the server side. I hope everyone getting my point. And then we can say real DOM or browser DOM is available on the client side. So means if you want to manipulate the client side, then no need any kind of the runtime environment. That will be done by the browser only. And if you want to manipulate the server side, then what happen? We need a Node.js. So that is the things. In the React, we already discussed that in the React, with what we are manipulating the virtual DOM, and virtual DOM is always available on the server side. That is the things. Yes, sir. I'm not getting your voice properly, sir. Sir, any doubt up to here? Okay. I'm unmuting to the Ramesh, sir. I think he opened the mic mistakenly. So now just wait. I'm just sharing my presentation once again. Okay, so now see here what happened. Node.js will be provide the runtime environment, and Node.js is a server-side platform built on the Google Chrome JavaScript engine. So everyone just here you need to understand what is the Google Chrome JavaScript engine. This is the we can say runtime environment that provide the runtime environment to the browser. On the basis of that thing only we create the Node.js, and Node.js provide the runtime to the backend. So that is the thing only. And Node.js developed by the Randall. So that is the general kind of the concept. You know? And the now latest version is the 10 point. Maybe now maybe version will be the change because this version all after the every 1 or 2 months, we will get a different kinds of the version. So if you want to check the which version I have available in my system, then what happen? What we can say, we will check the node hyphen version. We can see the that thing as well. Now, then Node.js applicable are written in the JavaScript and can be run within the Node.js, and that provide the runtime to the operating system like a Microsoft Windows, Linux, iOS, that kind of the things. So we can say Node.js is nothing but a JavaScript plus runtime environment. JavaScript plus runtime environment. If we take the simple JavaScript, then what happen? We're able to create the dynamic front end. So using the Node.js, what happen? We are able to create the backend also. We can say we're able to create the backend script as well. So that is the thing about the Node.js. I have everyone understood properly. And now what can Node.js do? Node.js can generate the dynamic web page content. Here what happened? Node.js can create the read, write, delete, and the file on the server. Simply we can say this one, we can say the CRUD operation. I think anyone heard about the CRUD operation? Just anyone give me the reply in the chat box. CRUD operations. So where we perform the CRUD operation, basically we perform the CRUD operation on the database. And create, read, update, delete. Yes, thank you, sir. So here what happens if you want to perform this kind of the operation on the database. So again, we can draw the if you want to perform this kind of the operation on the database, then what happen? We need some kind of the server side scripting. So now we are already aware about that key here. What happened? We integrate the database on the server side only. So if you want to perform the CRUD operation on the database, then we need a server side scripting, just like a servlet. We already aware about in the Java what happened. We have a servlet. So using the servlet, what happened? We use the JDBC second drivers, and so here we are going to use the Mongoose. We will discuss that later uh, into the when we are going to start the MongoDB, that time we'll discuss about the Mongoose. So here what happened? So we integrate here we can say we integrate the server with the database with the help of the Mongoose. Same in the Java also we use the servlet and we use the database. And if you want to connect that one, then what happened? What we use JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. So here what happened? We can do the same thing. I hope everyone get the point. So now here what happened, using the Node.js, we are able to perform the CRUD operation on the database also. And now here the node can collect the form data. Yes, that node can add, delete, modify in our database. So basically what happened, we use the server side scripting to integrate the database, and we integrate the coding, backend coding. So for that what happened, we use the server side scripting. So if I want to see, told you that generally what is the use of the server side scripting. So here server side scripting basically we use to execute our backend code, plus execute the database query, or we can see to implement the database. So here if you want to put that two things into the program, then what happen? We need a server side scripting. So in the Java we have a servlet, and in the if I'm using the JavaScript, then what happen? We have a Node.js. So here we need to understand that kind of the things only. Now here, okay, and here they give you some advantages and disadvantages also as well. Just 1 minute. I'm just making my full screen as the full size. So now advantages of the Node.js. Easy scalable, so we are able to scale up the program easily, easy to learn, because we are, if I are aware about the JavaScript, then easy to learn. So just we need to execute the 4-5 command, then what happen? We are able to understand all things. And then high performance, obviously maximum companies now using the MERN stack only, then that's why they give the good kind of the high performance. And here what happened? In the Node.js, we are using the full stack JavaScript, means here no need to use any kind of the other programming language. So for example, if I take the full stack development with the Java, then what happened? In that, what happened? What we use? JavaScript plus Java programming. If you take the Python, then that what we use? JavaScript plus Python. So if you use the PHP, then what happened? We use the PHP plus Python. So for that, but here what happened? We are using the for the front end JavaScript only, and for the backend also JavaScript only, and for the server side also we are using the JavaScript. So that's why. So Node.js is the full stack kind of the JavaScript, and here we have a large community, extended support, and advance of the catching. So that is the general things and application. Here, if I want to create the real-time chat application, for that we use the Node.js for the data streaming, for the IoT applications, for the RESTful API server, and for creating the web application as well. So we use the Node.js for the these things. Now we'll move toward how to install the Node.js. I think you know about that. We already learned about that, how to install the Node.js. So now you can, if you want to check the version is available or not, so for that just you can write down the node hyphen v, and yes, here you need to check the npm also, node program manager. So for that you can write down the npm hyphen v. So just we are going to do that kind of the things only. So now verify the node version. We already discussed about that. Now we'll discuss about the npm, that is the important things. So now just 1 minute, I'm just sharing, stopping my screen. Sorry. So now before starting the NPM, what I will just give the some kind of the information about the NPM. So for that node, so for that whatever, I'm just closing the my workspace. So now just we can go on the any folder, and then okay. So we have one FDP, and now I'm creating the new workspace. Now I'm writing here day 4 workspace, creating day 4 workspace. Now just click on the enter, and now here just to open with the VS Code. I'm just going to open with the VS Code. Show more option. Open with the VS Code. So now see here what happened. What we open with the VS Code. Now just I want to execute the first program using the Node.js. So now here, if you want to first one, what is the essential requirement? Just you need to check the node is available or not in your system. You can do the one thing. Just you can open the command prompt, just check that thing, or you can just we already learned that things how to install the Node.js. So now here just you can check the version is available, node is available or not. So yes, in my system node is available. So now see here what is the latest version. We have a 20.14. So now in the PPT we know here obviously each and every time the version will be the change. So now yeah, I think you have pay just 1 minute. Yes. So here what happened? We have a latest version is 20.14. Yes, I'm just making the changes in the PPT. 20.14. So we have this kind of the version for the node, latest version. So now so I hope my screen is visible to everyone. So now just we are going to create one first program, just simple. Suppose I'm writing here first node. First node program. What I'm writing here, first node program.js. What I'm writing here, first node program.js. So now I'm just writing the simple console.log. You already know about that console.log. And now what I'm writing here, hello in a first program. Hello in a first program. I'm writing here hello in a first program. And now I want to execute this code. So we already aware that if you want to execute this code, then we can create for the front end, we create a HTML file and we import that JS file. So now I want to execute that on the back end, or we can say on the server side. So for that, what I'm writing here, node. Then I'm writing the file name. We need to write down the file name. First program.java. No need to do this kind of the things. So if you have multiple files, then just you can write down the three to four word of the file, and then just you can press the tab. So I'm just follow that kind of the things only, and just click on the enter. So now here what we get? We will get the output. So no hello in a first program. So this is the how to use the node in the real time. So that is the thing. Okay. So now node program manager. Okay. Then okay, node program manager. So we'll discuss about the npm as well. So first, suppose see here. In the node, we have two things. We can do the one thing. First, we discuss about this one, and then we will move toward the node npm. So in a node, just what happened? We have two things. First one, we have a node, and second one is the node one. So difference here, what happened? Node is the manual, and node one is the automatic. है ना? So now node one is the work on the node only. Node one is the work on the node only. So now if you want to install that node, then node one, then what happened? We need to execute the npm. npm start for the node program manager. So now here what just I will show you the difference. What is the manual ultimately? So now here see, I'm writing the first line code. Then suppose I'm writing suppose we can writing I'm writing the second. We can do the one thing. I can create one simple function. I create a function. I'm writing here message. I'm writing here function message, and suppose I'm writing here constant. I'm writing here name. Name equal to suppose I'm writing here faculty development program, and now I'm writing here return. I'm writing here return name. Okay, I'm writing here return name. So now see, I'm just create this one, and then I want to give the output. So I'm writing here console.log. What I'm writing here console.log. And now suppose I want to call this one name. So what I'm writing here, welcome in a so what I'm writing here, name. So here, what I'm writing here, welcome in a name. So now see here, if I want to execute this code again, then what I'm writing, just here I want to write down again I want to execute this code. Are you getting my point? Sorry, here we are going to call this one function. So I'm writing here message. I'm going to call this one function. So what I'm writing here, I'm writing here message. Now see, if I want to execute this code, then here what happened? I want to write down the node again. So now suppose if I'm do the any kind of the changes again here. Suppose I'm making any kind of the changes here again. Suppose I'm taking the one constant name equal to, suppose I'm writing here my name only. And now again, if you want to execute this code, then what happen? I want to again execute this code. So now instead of doing that kind of this, what happen? We have one good manual trans. What we have a automatic. So means automatic restart. No need to restart that manually. So for that, instead of the node, we can able to use the nodemon. So what I'm writing here, nodemon. I'm writing here first nodemon. I'm writing here program file name first demo.js. Now see, I'm executing this one. Now here what we get, hello in a first program. Now just I'm just making the changes in the program. What I'm writing here, console.log, and I'm writing here hello, and then what I'm writing here, name. What I'm writing here, name, and then I'm putting the comma. And now just I'm pressing the Control S. Now you can see here, see the magic. Now see here, what happened? We get the hello Rishikesh. Means if we use the nodemon, means no need to execute the file again and again. Just it will be automatically restart when we press on the Control S. So that is the use of the nodemon. So if you want to install the nodemon, then what happen? You need to execute this command. So I'm already in my system. I'm already installed this one nodemon. So that's why I'm getting the now. Sometime if you execute without doing this one, if you're trying to execute the nodemon, then what happens? You will be get the error. Nodemon is not detected, or we can say nodemon is not found. So that's why we need to install the nodemon. I hope everyone Get the idea up to here? I hope you will get the clarity. So now what is the main purpose of the Node.js? We are going to write down the server side scripting. And so now if I want to write down the server side scripting, then means with whom we need to deal? We need to deal with the HTTP. We need to deal with the HTTP. So what is the HTTP? It is the we can say some kind of the response. With the help of the HTTP, what happened? We will send the request. So now if I want to see show you the simple manner here, what happened? Now I'm just drawing the one thing. Okay, we will draw the here. So now you're aware about that. See here what happens. Suppose this one is the client side. This one is the client side, and this one is the server side. So if I want to take the any kind of the input from the server, then what happens from the client side? We will send the one request. We will send the one request. Then what happened? Server will be perform the process on that request. Hai. So for that we have different kinds of the method. Can anyone told me that method names in the chat box? Basically, we have four methods. We have multiple methods, but generally we use the four method. And after processing on that, we will get the some kind of the response. So that will be happen in the HTTP only. So for that, we have some methods. Can anyone told me that methods in the chat box? If you want to send a response from the client side, and if you want to send a request, and if you want to get the response on the client side, then we have a yes, very good. So what happened? Thank you, ma'am. So we have a put, we have a get, we have a post, we have a delete, we have a update, we have this kind of the methods. And after using that method, what happened? We are able to integrate with this, we are able to communicate with the server. But if you want to communicate with the server, first one what happened? We need to make the connection with the server. So here using the Node.js, we are able to create the connection with the server. Now we are going to see that how to create the connection with the server. So if I want to create the connection with the server, then what happens? We will going to use the Node Program Manager. We are going to use the Node Program Manager. So now how we are going to use that, I will told you. So now just 1 minute. Now I'm creating another JS file. So generally what happened? We write down that one as the server.js. We take the name generally server.js, and you can take the any kind of the name. So we can say server.js. This is the welcome file for the server. So when we are going in the mon code, or we can say in the mon stack code, if I want to insert into the server, then what happened? This will be the landing file, or we can say landing file only. Not we can say page. This is the landing. Or we can say this is the welcome file for the server. Welcome file for the any kind of the code. This code will be dominate the first one into the server.js. And we'll discuss that into the node one also, how we dominate in the server. So now here I'm doing the one thing. Just I'm calling the one thing. I'm writing here const. I'm writing here const. I'm writing here HTTP and equal to. I'm writing here require. I'm writing here require. What I required? I required the HTTP. I required a HTTP because I want to connect with the server. So now here what I'm writing here, HTTP dot create server. Now I'm writing one method HTTP dot create server. So why we are going to create the server? If I'm going to create the connection in the server, then what happen? We need to give the two things. Which one? Request and response. So now what I'm writing here? I'm writing here response. First one request comma response. So I'm getting the two object, and then a close, and then I'm writing here curly open and curly brace. And now see after this one, I'm writing the and then I'm writing here dot to listen. And listen means port number. I'm giving the port number 8080. And now see here what happened. I want to store that object into the server. So what I'm writing here, const server. Server equal to HTTP. Still we are getting the error. Just 1 minute. Create server, request, response, then arrow function, curly brace. Yeah. So now here, see here what am I writing? Suppose I'm writing here write dot head. What is the use of this one? So now I am saying key to the server. I'm sending the content type text, and what I'm sending, I'm just sending the plain text. So now I'm sending the plain text, then server need to write this one. So now what I'm writing here, write. What I'm writing here, write. And in the double quotation, I'm spacing the message hello on a server, on a server. Hello on a server. And now see here what happened, what we are going to use here generally. Now we are using the local server. So hello on a local server. Just I'm writing one message hello and local server. Hello on local server. I'm closing the comma. And after that, what happened? I'm going to close the response. So for that, what I'm writing? I'm writing the response end. But things here, if I'm executing this code, so now here we are getting the output here on the just 1 minute. So now I'm going to execute this server file. So for that, just I want to close the previously node one. So now I am pressing the control C in the chat box, and now I'm just creating the command prompt, and then I'm just clearing the terminal, and then I'm writing here node, and then now file name what? Now I'm going to use the server.js. Now just click on the enter. See, now we are not getting any kind of the error, means that is executed properly. But where we get that file? Because why we doesn't give the any kind of the port number. So if I want this output, then what happened? So just what I'm doing, I'm just writing the here listen. Listen means server, मेरी बात सुनो. Yeah, I'm just giving the this same code onto the port number 500. I'm giving the code for that on the code on the port number 500. And if you want to give the any kind of the output in the console, then you can give the output into the console as well. Console.log. What I'm writing here, hello in a console. So now here console.log always give the output into the console. And now this one here request.write, it always gives the output, or we can say data into the onto the server side, or we can say browser side. Now execute this code again, node.server.js. We get the output hello in the console. Now you can open the browser. And now here what happened? So what we use here, suppose I'm just writing a localhost to 3000. Localhost, suppose I'm writing here 3000. We are getting any output? No. We are getting any output? No. Yes. Here what we use? Here हमने use किया 5000. So now I will try the 5000 port. Now here what I'm writing? I'm writing here port number 5000. Now click on the enter. Now see here what I'm get. We'll get the hello on a local server. We get the response hello on a local server. Now here what happened? We integrate. So now here what happened? We integrate our Node.js with the server. So now here what happened? We take the plain text. If I want to take the HTML text, we can take the HTML text as well. So now we will try this. I'm writing here H1. I'm writing here H1. And here I'm writing here H1 clothes. Now just instead of just I'm writing control yes. So now control C, and now here I'm writing nodemon. I don't want to execute the again and again. I'm writing here nodemon server.js. So now hello in a console, we get the output in the console. Now I'm just refreshing this one. So now see here what we get the tag also. Why? Because here we give the clear instructions. Here what happened? I want to text as the plain. So now here I can do the one thing. I'm writing here instead of the plain, what I'm writing here HTML text slash HTML. Now see, just I'm press the control S and your console will be refreshed. And now if I'm see the output and if I'm clicking on the refresh, now here what happened? We'll get the output into the HTML. So that is the things. Okay. So we can able to, I hope everyone understood up to here. Yes, ma'am. So here what happened? We are connecting the our code with the server. or we are interacting with the server, local server? Just anyone giving the thumbs up? Okay. So now just 1 minute, just I will told you the one thing, then we will wind up the today's session. Now here what happened? Here we write down the listen. So if you want to create the another function, then we can create the another function as well. So for that, what I'm writing, see, instead of the writing listen over here, I'm just doing the one thing. I'm just deleting this one. And now I'm writing here server dot listen. What I'm writing here, server dot listen. And this one, I'm just giving the symbol, server dot listen. And now I want to take the port name. So generally what happen if you execute the real-time code, then what happen? We don't give the this kind of name. We will give the actual port. So now what I'm writing, I'm just creating the one variable equal to port. And for that, I'm just giving the, suppose I'm just giving the 3001. Now I'm giving the port to 3001. And now in the listen, what I'm writing here, I'm writing here port. What I'm writing here, port. And now comma, I'm just creating the function, arrow function. I'm creating the arrow function. And in that function, I want to give the output into the console. Key code is running properly or not. So now see here. I'm just deleting that thing as well. Now I'm just closing this console tab. Okay, so now see here. Now here what happened? I'm just taking the port. This actually what happened in the real time. We doesn't write down the port number here, or we can say we doesn't write down the interconnection here. We already told that we write down that one into the .env file. I will told you that when we start the backend develop integration, that time I will told you. So why we take here port here? Because generally we doesn't write down directly here. We take the one .env file and we write down this one code into the env file, and this env file we are not going to push on the git, or we can say we are not going to push that one file onto the any kind of the repository. You can take the git or you can take the render, any kind of repository. Why? Because this one is the, we can say, a secure. We need to do the secure thing, and so here we are doing the connection of the database, we are going to connection of the port, so that we write down into env file. So now but for the today, I'm writing the port number here only. But in the next tomorrow session, where we are going to perform the integration, we are going to write down port into the another different file. And so now here what happened? Now I'm executing this code. Now just you can see now here what I'm under, server is running on the port 3301. Now you can see the, now if I'm trying to execute on the 500, here will we get the, see, not found. Why? Because here we don't have 5000 now. Here we have a 3001. Now you can click on the enter. So now here what we get, you will get the output on this server. We'll get the output on this server. So now here हमने use किया HTTP. So this one we call the module. This one we call the module. This one we call the module. Okay, we'll discuss that tomorrow. There will be no issue. So this HTTP is, I will just told you that this is the built-in module. This is the built-in module. है ना? So then we have a third-party module as well. So that's, we have a mongoose. This is the third party module. So if you want to take the mongoose here, if we have express, that is also third party module. So if you want to take that one, then what we write down here, const. Suppose I want to take the express, then what I'm writing here, express. I write here express, and I'm writing here required. I'm writing here required, and then I will write down the double quotation. I will write down the express. I will write down the express. But here, see, express is not available. See here what happened, required. Just I'm just changing the spelling. See throw here. So here what happened? Just 1 minute. See, waiting for the file to change. What happened? Because he is not able to take the express, because this one is the third party module. So everyone know that if you want to take the third party module, then what happened? We need to import. So now what we are going to do, we are going to import that into the packet.json. So that's we call the dependency, how to add the dependency. So in that what happened in the packet.json, we need to create the file packet.json, and in that packet.json we need to write down the npm install, and then we what we write down, express. We will write down the express, and then we will click. then what happens? That will be installed into the that will be going to install into the C. If I'm writing this one npm install, so now what happens? We will get the automatically will get the package.json file. You're getting my point? So don't worry, we'll discuss that more into the tomorrow's session. So here see. So now this one, that's why I'm getting it. This one is the third party module. This one is the third party module. We have Mongoose also third party module. So sir, I think in the morning, sir raised this kind of the questions. What is this of the package.json? So now see, if I'm see the package.json, see here what happened? I'm getting the one dependency only express. So now suppose I'm installing the second dependency, Mongoose. npm install, we can directly write down the I, there will be no issue, Mongoose. So now it will take a little bit time and that will install the dependency, this one dependency also. Initially we are getting here only express. Now just wait for the C. Now here what we get, we'll get the automatically Mongoose also. And so now this is the use of the package.json. Again, there is a lot of use of the package.json. That is the thing. Yes, Uma, no issue. We will conclude
Yes, I
this session.
think we can conclude that we can also take the group photo.
No issue, no. So I hope you will get the clarity up to here. I can share this code into the chat box so you can perform this one practice and just you can get the output also, no issue.
And everyone, please turn on your camera so that we can take a group photo and then we'll wind up the session. Thank you, Sirisha ma'am. Others, please turn on your camera. Thank you, ma'am. Harshita ma'am. You can see only 3 of them have turned on the camera. So okay, please make sure that tomorrow everyone has to turn on the camera because tomorrow is the last day. At least we'll do that. Okay. And I will share all the GitHub links and the PPT in the WhatsApp group as well. But still, you have all those details in the LMS. Okay. So thank you so much for joining today and have a great day. Bye, everyone.
We have only 4 camera open.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Uma, can you share the attendance link? I think they are not getting the attendance link.
Yes, I'm.